onto number 6. I've already been picking my pansies. I've got my new mug. Don't worry, be happy. Perfect for the garden because it's metal. And that was £1.99. I think that was from Home Bargains. So totally recommend these, especially for the garden. Okay, let's head to here. Here we have the salad that has gone crazy. And as you can see in here, we have just an absolute mix of everything. And as I pull something out, it allows one of the smaller ones to come through, which that one you can see is going to flower just in there. And as soon as they start to flower, they go bitter. So you pull them out, which I have to come out daily to do this. And that's another one. So this is how it all makes room for one another as things get past it. Yeah. Yeah. All of those have got little flowers coming. And there's nothing worse than a bitter salad leaf. Another one. So as you pull them out, it makes room for the smaller ones that's in here. And it's the hot weather what turns them very quickly this time of year, makes them all go to seed. But I'll stop there. Now I've got a handful. And over here we've got the herbs that I have been picking daily. We have dill, fennel, lemon balm, sage, coriander, flat leaf parsley, oregano, mint, weeds, thyme. So we've got a lot going on. Okay, over here you can see I've got this green netting up, and there is a reason. These pansies were really badly drooping when I come out, so I watered them, and to stop it frying my plants underneath the tomatoes, I've put a shade cloth so it won't frazzle them all. That's the last thing I want to do. That's a tomato sucker. Now if you put that in dirt, that will grow to another tomato plant. Tomatoes are amazing like this. They send out these suckers. Here's another one. That's a sucker. And you pinch them off, and you can put them in dirt and they will grow a whole new tomato plant. You pinch them off so the tomato plant focuses on the fruit, so the fruit get bigger. And if you leave these suckers on the plant, the fruit will be smaller because the plant is sending out, trying to basically feed yet another tomato plant on the same plant. So you pinch them off so they focus on the fruit, and the fruit will be larger. So every couple of days I come out and I pull off these suckers. Right, then we've got these here are beetroot. We have carrots. If you look down here you can see these little mushroom things. Don't panic if they grow in your garden beds, it just means that your soil is really good. It's actually a good thing to see in your garden bed. So we've been harvesting some turnips. They've not been very big, they've been sort of golf ball size. The peas at the back you can see all the way along here have gone totally crazy. The tatsoi here we've been eating. We've got a little bit of bug damage going on. That one looks like it's gone to seed or going to seed, yep. You see in there. It's going to seed. Pull that one out. Send that one on the side. Okay. We also have these here are little silver skin onions. They're not doing a lot at the moment, but these ones, we've got 1, 2, 3. They are Egyptian walking onions, which I'm really excited about. It's something I've never grown before, and they grow up to about 3 foot in height, and at the end, instead of having a flower head, they actually have bulbs, and the leaves then bend over like that, and those bulbs will root straight in the ground, so they actually move. It's about a foot away from the original plant. They literally move. If you hear any noise in the background, I do apologise. We've got a company at the bottom of the garden, on the other side of the garden, that makes a fair bit of noise. Okay, these are the garlic. Up into the pansies that I've already picked. And here I've also been picking and dehydrating. We've got lovage, sorrel, catmint, apple mint, Indian mint, Vietnamese coriander, and then here we have calendula. Look at all these buds. Over into here we have, that is tree spinach, and that looks like glitter on there. I don't know whether you can get in close to see it. Kohlrabi, and then here we go for the crazy kale patch. And we have actually been chowing down on this as well, so we've got several different makes. These two I know are kale jardin or jardin, and there's a purple one and the white one. We have KX1, which is a red one, and we have normal dwarf kale somewhere in here, which would probably be this one, dwarf curly kale. As you can see, it's gone mad. It's lovely with gravy, sausages, mash, kale and gravy, one of my favourites. Here we've got all the brassicas. This would be cauliflower, cabbage, broccoli, and probably somewhere in amongst there I might have some leeks, but I can't find them at the moment because they're a bit small. And a crazy potato patch. We have been battling greenfly and batfly and aphids. There's a black fly. And I carry a cloth with me because I don't like squishing them in my hands, just to wipe them off. So I come out every day, twice a day, bug killing, because a gardener's best tools are their hands. But I don't like squishing bugs in my hands, so cloth. Over here, look at the beautiful cabbages. We actually did harvest one the other day. I think this is possibly broccoli or cauliflower. It's not heading up yet, or it's not growing the broccoli head. And we're coming down, and we have blueberries. Look, they're forming, and I didn't think they was going to do anything. And if you look now, the leaves were red a few weeks back. There are very few red looking leaves now. If you see red leaves on your blueberry bush, it means that you've had a cold snap and it thinks it's autumn, and you can lose all your fruit. So that's just a note, because that's what happened to us last year. All these leaves went red. You can see there's probably a hint of red on them. But they go red, and think it's a red one. I think it's autumn. Up to the jasminum, which, as you'll remember, when I first started the garden tour, there was one little bit stuck up, and now it is just like a massive green. Rosemary, which does need coming out, and I need to dehydrate a little, so I'll grab them on the way. I do have some already in my jar at home, but this will be the first lot for 2021. It's probably better to do it with shears, it works a bit easier. You know, a pair of scissors, that sort of thing. But me, I just use my hands. There we are. Put that in the pocket. My pockets are always full of something. And here, look at these. Excuse me, bumblebee. Raspberries. And a busy bumblebee. We like bumblebees in the garden because it pollinates everything. So this does attract, raspberries do attract lots of bumblebees. So that is brilliant. Now, the weight of these red currants is pulling everything down. Check that lot out. But you can see how much it's pulling. So I'm going to have to go in with a stick or a cane and to try and hold this back, because the whole bush is pulling forward, because it is supposed to be there. And that's how much it moves, and that is just purely the amount of berries on there. Everywhere you look, so many berries. Looks like the birds have been chomping some, which is fine. Got mad potatoes, which black fly. So I've been battling black fly, green fly whitefly and other aphids. You can see they're going absolutely crazy. Over here we have a 10-week stock. Oh my goodness, they smell lovely. I wish there was thing as smell-o-vision, because they smell gorgeous. Nasturtiums that I've still been eating the leaves of, which are literally same size as my hand now. We've got alyssum. That little marigold is still not quite opened up. And we come across, and there is a marigold. And we've got others. All the 10-week stocks are in bloom. Oh, hello ladybug. I'll leave in there because they're beneficial to the garden. Still, our tomato plant is still hanging on from the slugs. You can see the damage is horrific. But this is one place that I cannot stop the dogs getting to, so I cannot treat it with any sort of slug pellets. So I'm calling it our sacrifice plant. There's nothing I can do. The good thing is about potatoes, they have such a willingness of wanting to live that they will probably still produce potatoes in that pot, not a problem. And we come round to here. All these are going to go flower. And another stock. And we got a pink one here. More marigolds, alyssum, and then the rose called Gorgeous, what was for my dog, is in bud. And we have some more here. Oh, and we have greenfly. Wonderful. So that means I've got to come out. Oh, goodness me. Here we are. This is a good example. And all I do is literally, look at that. We do have aphid pressure. Oh, please stop. You can treat them with sprays if you so wish. I normally try to get an organic spray, but I've actually run out of it. So I've got to try and get to the shop to get a bug spray that is organic. This is my son's plants that he's planted. I don't get involved with those. He's got his own little gardening channel. Been eating this. This is my son's. This is mine. This is all we have left. And here's my bucket of salad. Oh, look at that. That hasn't even been long and we're already going to seed. So you have to be on it. You have to come out daily. And then if you crouch down, you'll be able to see all love this sea of green. We've got the carrots over in that bed there. Behind them we have cabbages, kohlrabi and the like. All this is potatoes. Now I can see some roses that need picking. Beautiful potatoes, as you can see how tall they are against me. They're up to my thigh. No problem. And again, oh my goodness, this is covered. Right. The bugs on these roses are horrific. I'm gonna have to come out here with some soapy water and hit those to try and get them under the control. Now you may be asking, why am I picking the rose heads? I dehydrate them and then use them in face creams because rose is really good for your skin. It's very nourishing. And because I garden organically, except for slug pellets, obviously they don't affect the roses, that I pick them myself in that way. I know there's no chemicals on them. And this rose is actually in memory of my dad. It's called Macmillan, as in the Macmillan nurses and that. My dad died 7-8 years ago from cancer. So that's his rose in memory, and they smell absolutely divine. So sweet smelling. Okay, on to this bed. At the back here we still have a couple of squashes, tomatoes. One looks healthy, one looks half dead, and that's fine by me. And then here we have sweet corn, artichoke, that's a tomatillo. These are, we have all different squashes. What's this one? That's a butternut, it's called butterfly. This is spaghetti squash, tomato. Cut off these suckers. This one is pumpkin jack of all trades, and you can see that's in flower. Soon we might see some little fruit on there with any luck. All along the front here we have peas, which is, they're going really well. I can see a sucker. Pulling off a sucker. Stick him in there and he'll grow. Like this one was a sucker and he's now growing. That's a potato leaf tomato, which is different from that one, if you can see the difference. And that's called a potato leaf tomato, which if you look at a potato leaf, if I pick one and then hold it against that, you can see they look very, very much the same, but apart from this one's a potato and that one is a tomato. It's the heritage one. I think it's a brandy wine. over to here. We have some more tomatoes. We have a red cabbage, Chinese cabbage, We have dwarf beans, actually dwarf runner beans. You see them in bud. And then if you come here, they're in flower. Aren't they pretty for a vegetable? At the back we have runner beans that is growing up all the way. That's the top of it. And we still have some sweet corn in here. We have our chamomile. That's a dahlia, bug damage. And then again onto all these tomatoes, which I'm constantly coming in and pulling out the suckers. That's one that can go in there. So we've got all the tomatoes here. Here we have my bay leaf, and if you come along here, look at these beauties. And then we have a pink one. And look at that one. Looks like velvet. So pretty. So pretty. And then here we have feverfew, which is supposed to be good for pain. It's a little bit on the bitter side when you go to eat it, but if you're in pain and you wanted to give it a go, that may work. I've never tried it as yet. Okay, on to the peppers. And again, we have been struggling with green fly and slugs. Slugs are really bad, and they should be in here somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. That little one there is going to be a pepper. And this one, that's a baby pepper in the making. How cool is that? And again, you can see they're starting to get some baby fruit. They're all doing roughly the same thing. And here again, there's the fruit. Most of these are sweet peppers. We do have some, yeah, have a look what we got in here. Cayenne peppers, and then here is a salad leaves. They're a superfood mix, just because I ran out of space, so I thought I'd stick them in there. This is a Trinidad perfume pepper. And this one's a chili long slim pepper. So there's some hot peppers, but majority are things like sweet banana pepper and citrina, the snap peppers. Okay, here's the apples going crazy. They are starting to lose some of their apples, which is what I said they would do. It's called June drop, and they drop their weakest fruit. So we go all the way along. Mr. Kiwi. Cherries. Lots of cherries. Really happy about them. Because last year was the first year that we had fruit and we had one cherry. Ah. Mr. and Mrs. Snail, would you mind getting off? So, as you can see, they're actually starting to turn. There's a slight pink tinge to some of them. I don't know whether cherries do the same as the apples, where they do a June drop and drop the weakest ones or not. I don't know. But I'm excited because we've got more than one this year. And the plum tree has nothing. Not a single plum in sight. So I don't know what's going on with that. In there are cucumber plants. Looks like they're into the greenhouse, where we have beefsteak tomatoes. I'm just going to pull off some of these bottom leaves because you want to keep them pruned back. Like that one off as well. Where is that? There. I'm still waiting for my tomato hooks to come in, which would make it easier to string these up a bit better than what I've got now. So this one's a super marmonde. I picked up, I think it was for about 50p. 50p or a pound. And then we go to watermelons. More tomatoes. I always remove the bottom ones. It allows some airflow to the plant. And then we have more tomatoes. And then we have this, which is a lemon apple cucumber. This one actually, I'm going to pull those off because they're not looking the healthiest. And yes, my dog has still been chewing the cucumber plant, so I had to put 2 new ones in, because you can see that's not bug damage, that's a dog damage. Drives me nuts. These I think are done. Well, that's it for this week, guys. I'm going to take these in and do the dehydration on them all, and I will see you next week with another garden tour. Until next time, bye.